My question is to the Minister for Health. Minister, I refer to the delivery of ambulance services in Western Australia critical condition report tabled today in the Legislative Council, and a finding that, and I quote, increased ramping has contributed to St John Ambulance WA's inability to comply with their target response times, and I ask, 1, do you accept this finding and the fact that underinvestment in our hospitals under your government has led to a catastrophic increase in ambulance ramping that took nearly 5 ambulances off WA roads every day in 2020-21? Or do you agree with UWU National Ambulance Coordinator Fiona Scallon that St John's Ambulance has dropped the ball and ambulance services should be run as an essential service by government?
Good question.
The Minister for Health.
Madam Speaker, I accept that ambulance ramping has contributed to St John not being able to meet all of its response time. But what the report, and I haven't had an opportunity to read it front to cover because it was tabled 4 hours ago and we're dealing with a COVID response right now. So in terms of a formal response, the government will give the committee due respect and consideration and will respond as is the appropriate time frame. So I'm not going to make any formal response on any of the actual recommendations. From some of the findings that I've seen, they've also made a range of other findings around St John's. So you can't take one piece of the report out of context. I do not in any way whatsoever accept your assertion that we have underfunded the health system. That is simply wrong. That is simply wrong. Under this government, the budget for the health system has increased every single year. Since 2017, it has increased every single year. The last 2 years, and in the last budget, we saw a 680 million uplift in business as usual. 680 million uplift in business as usual, as well as $251 million for the Emergency Access Department, as well as $30 million for country paramedics, as well as significant investment in our mental health system. You cannot. The figures don't lie, Leader of the Opposition. The numbers don't lie. This is a record investment in our health system of $3.6 billion. $3.6 billion in infrastructure alone. So it is absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong that this government has underinvested in the system. Since we were elected, the budget has increased by 30%.
Well done.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, will you rule out bringing the ambulance service into government hands, as has been recommended or promoted by UWU National Ambulance Coordinator Fiona Scallon?
The Minister for Health.
I suggest the Leader of the Opposition pull herself out of the conspiracy rabbit hole and start looking at the circumstances. Start looking at the circumstances that the community is facing right now, and that is our COVID response. That is our COVID response. My priority as Minister is to work with St John to make sure that we are providing the best ambulance service in the world. That is my priority. We have the best paramedics in the world. We have the best call takers in the world, and they deal with some of the most extraordinarily difficult circumstances. That's the support that they need right now, and that's the support they'll get from me as Health Minister.